Shalom, shalom. Welcome to Yahweh Teachings. We are so excited about this new series that we have started recording here. This is a deep dive into the scripture, and we hope you enjoy what we have planned and what we have started here of digging into what does the scripture mean? What is it that we look at when we prepare to do some of our videos, and what's the background behind what it is that we are researching in order to put together these videos. So we decided to record conversations that we have as we study and as we interview other people, and we look for the data and information that help us come to the conclusions that we've come to. And so what you'll see in this series is people that we've included that have different expertise and knowledge. And so for starters, we've got Stephen here, who is an expert in the etymology of scripture words. And he spent over 20 years researching the biblical words from the source of them to the source in English as much as possible. And so what I mean by that is taking the words that are in the English version of the Bible, looking at the Strong's Concordance, and following those words back to the root of the word that's in the Strong's, and then following that to the etymology of the English word that correlates to that meaning coming from the Greek or the Hebrew, in which it would translate the best in English. And so this has been a lot of years of study for him and a lot of different research to get to the depth of what the words would actually mean in today's language. And then we also have another guest with us, Joachim, who is an expert in the Hebrew language and is giving us his perspective on what do the Hebrew words mean, what is the full representation of those words in the Hebrew culture today. And so he gives us a perspective from the Hebrew culture and the Hebrew language as of today, what some of those words would mean in their culture, along with how you would translate that into English, because it's very difficult to translate words word for word. And so they come with meanings and not just direct translation. So you'll see the beginning of that in this series, and we plan to record many more videos in this series about how we research, how we study, who we talk to, who are some of the experts that we use in order to come to the conclusions that we come to. And remember, all of this comes back to us trying to learn as much as we possibly can about what is the Word of Yahweh. What is the word that was given to us? What did YHWH+We mean when he shared his word with the people, when he walked on the earth as a man? And how can we use that then in our everyday life to train us, to teach us, to grow us up, to edify the entire body of YHWH+? Because that is the goal of every believer, is to edify the body, and that we all may grow up into the fullness of YHWH+. And so we hope you like this series. We hope you enjoy learning along with us. So grab your pens and your papers and your Strongs and all of your research materials and sit down and let's dive deep into the scripture. Shalom.
Well, that's what digital is. It's to change the control at will. So that's why we have to have hard copies of everything, because digital is changeable at will.
Yeah.
Well, a hard copy proves the changes.
Yes.
That is the thing. Like what I follow in alphabets and the revolution of time in history, and alphabets being used and words that are being used in that alphabet at that time. Okay, that's a good example. And showing you today the example in Esther and in Ezra, okay, is a difference in alphabets change.
Okay.
Even the Strong's number changed. Remember me showing
Yes.
that.
Yep.
Okay. From 3701, which is the meaning silver, which is what it means, 3701, and they translate it as money. But in Ezra, I think it was 714, that word in the Strong's number is 3702, and that's the first time that change in alphabets take place.
Okay. Yeah, that makes it even harder then.
Alphabets from the letter S for silver to M like money, or what are you talking about?
What's that?
He just wants you to repeat the part about silver and what they changed it to. Did they change it to the word money?
Joachim 3701 in the Strong's Concordance, the meaning of that word is silver. Okay?
Right.
And it relates to the ingots and the weight system, the usury system. It's the beginning of the revolution of time identity. Well,
Okay.
everywhere in Scripture,
Right.
okay, everywhere in Scripture, they translate that word to money. Okay? Money didn't even exist until 700 AD, like I've discussed with you before. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the identity of the CGS system
Right.
that Greek philosophers developed. And that
Right.
equation is also, if you remember me saying, been traced back to
Okay.
Newton's formula, is what that relates back to, in the formula that he used that's given him credit.
So essentially, it was originally silver, but they changed the money at some point.
The weighing system, the purchasing system as we know it today, did not come into existence until 700 AD. Everything
Okay.
before that was a weight and barter system.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
The
So-
word money is
okay.
a fictitious word in Scripture. Okay?
All right. Okay.
It's a fictitious
So,
word.
yeah.
It has everybody fooled in a relationship of a real reality of what's being said without understanding what Scripture says.
Right. So yeah. So you really need the original Hebrew manuscripts, I guess, to really know the New Testament for sure as well.
Right?
Yeah.
It would be nice to have those.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly the Septuagint is supposedly what we have available, access to us is supposedly the older we have, more accurately, supposedly. But
Yep. Interesting topic of discussion when he was saying earlier, Newton. We figured out that they're telling you what they're doing with the name of Newton. It's new tone, meaning frequency, new frequency. It's part of the
yeah,
spell. That's why if that money correlates to changing from silver to money, it would be changing the spell aspect of what they're doing to try to move us away from silver and into this thing called money. So it would be a new tone or new resonance frequency.
yeah, basically a different way of commerce.
Yeah.
And everything Yahweh did was based on tone, because Yahweh spoke everything into existence. So if they're trying to change the tone, the sound, then that means that sound is actually really important to us, and words are really important to us because they're manipulating the tones and the sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when you drop when you let a piece of silver, an actual silver, real silver, it has a different tone sound.
Yes, it does. if you play with a silver coin versus a quarter, you can feel the difference because a U.S. quarter is not made out of silver. It's got other metals within it. And is there even any silver left? Or is it all?
Unless you buy silver coins.
Yeah, so the regular quarters that we get with the money system today don't even have any silver in them anymore.
Yeah. So there's a lot more to this realm has a lot more to do with frequency and sound than we would even know. And that's part of the spell because they change the words to make different frequencies and sound. And when you change the words to have different frequency and sound, you have different results, different outcomes.
Thank you for following our ministry. If you are interested in learning more about who we are and what we are doing, please feel free to like, subscribe, or share or follow the ministry on any of our pages. If you want to donate anything to our ministry, here are the ways in which you can do so with Venmo, PayPal, or send us an email if you have any questions or need additional information. Thank you.